Y'all, this is the bread that should be expired. It should be molding or molded at this point. Why am I wringing it out like a dry like this ain't food?
What are we eating? Like, are we actually eating real food? You know, this is pretty scary. I'm going to show you a few videos of food not going bad, food that has been in pantries for months, even years, and the food are not rotten. They're not rotten. They're not going bad. They don't have mold on it. So I'm just going to show you a few videos.
It's 3 a.m. and I just went down a rabbit hole. This food ain't real. This food is not real. This is bread. Mind you, I'm watching videos, so I remember that I had some buns in my pantry that I hadn't gotten rid of because I wanted some turkey burgers one day and I never used the rest of the buns. And I'm like, I know they should have maybe expired like December. It's January 7th. Y'all, this is the bread that should be expired. It should be molding or molded at this point. Why am I wringing it out like a dry like this ain't food? That's not food. Y'all, I'm traumatized and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But now you're traumatized too.
Okay, I recently went on vacation. When I came back, I had some moldy bread. Obviously not that big of a deal. Then what I happened to notice was even more disturbing. This Pepperidge Farm brioche top sliced buns was way in the back behind the Instapot. I had forgot about it. This is a month and a half older than this is. Do you see any mold anywhere on any of these buns? What? This is fresh made at a bakery. What are we eating? I want to know.
I also offer milkshakes on my Dirty Soda trailer, and the premium ice cream that I usually buy was out of stock for this weekend. So this is Aldi's Sunday Shop brand. Accidentally left it in the back of my trailer from Friday night until late morning.
It won't melt.
Over the Labor Day weekend,
melt.
late morning on Monday, and it did not melt.
Nope.
What kind of chemical,
it's not ice cream.
Disgusting wizardry is this?
It's not actually ice cream. Once upon a time, I was a retail manager. Within that realm, I was a grocery manager. And within that, I had to take care of the dairy frozen aisle. So you've probably seen these Breyers. You've probably also have seen Chapman. If you look at the packaging, nowhere will it say ice cream. Majority of these aren't ice cream. They'll say frozen dairy dessert or frozen dessert. Correction, I believe Chapman uses real cream, so you will see ice cream on their packaging. But for Breyers, you'll see it everywhere. Frozen dessert. Now, the reason why brands like Breyers, which was once considered a premium brand of ice cream, isn't even called ice cream anymore is, according to the FDA rules, ice cream must contain 10% milk fat, 20% total milk solid, and low air content, which means it's not just whipped full of air. Now, the reason why these products aren't considered ice cream anymore is because these companies are cutting milk fat and replacing it with like seed oil and corn syrup. So that's why you're seeing things like corn syrup here, skim milk. They're cutting natural ingredients. Yeah, so the next time you're at a grocery store, just be a little bit more mindful. You might have to look out for is it frozen dessert or frozen dairy dessert? And yes, you could leave these out and they will not melt. Until next time.
I'm over here cleaning out my trunk and I found this bread in this ShopRite bag that I purchased a long time ago. So the expiration date on this, y'all, is January 27th, 2025. Y'all, today is August 10th, 2025. Why is there Not one side of mold on this bread. It expired January 27th of 2025, y'all. It's August 10th, 2025. This bread was in my trunk in a freaking ShopRite bag I forgot about. No side of mold. What the fuck are we eating?
Why is the bread trying to outlive us? We've had bagel for over 2 months in our house, and the bagel does not even have one speck of mold growing on it. But when my mom bakes bread, after a few days of it being outside, the bread...
After spending the last 3 weeks in Spain and Italy, I am fully convinced that the United States is poisoning everything we're eating. Here's why. For weeks straight in Spain, I constantly did things I never do in the States. I drank wine every day. I ate pastries with chocolate every day. I ate every unhealthy food you can imagine. I experienced 0 hangovers, 0 upset stomachs, 0 anything bad. I have now been back in the States for 48 hours. Not only has every meal made me feel like shit, but I have immediately gotten actually sick. Sore throat, fever, like my body is just rejecting all of the bullshit we have here. And it has me thinking, if you're watching this video and you've never traveled abroad, you might not actually know how much better you could feel away from this shit. Has anyone else experienced this?
Yeah, like I asked before, what are we eating? That is not bread. That is so processed, that is over processed to the point where chickens, even when chickens eat those kind of things, they're going to die. I don't even think chicken will eat them. If you give it to chickens, they're not going to eat them. And we are eating these kind of stuff. We are feeding them to our kids. That's why we have a range of diseases going around right now, like so much diseases that we don't even know where they came from. They came from all this chemical food that we are eating. How come bread stays for that long without it being moldy? Why is bread, staying for months and months and months? Why is bread bouncing back like a foam sponge? Food is not supposed to behave like that. Like, food is not supposed to look like that. Food is not supposed to stay that long. That is not food. That is not bread. That is not food. I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know why those are even allowed to be on the shelves for us to consume. You know what I mean? That is toxic. That is poison. That is just hurting us. It's just, I don't know what to even say, but it's really sad thinking and knowing what we are eating, what we are putting into our bodies, what we are feeding our kids, with the rise of disease. We have so much diseases that every day you wake up, there's some kind of disease and we don't know where it's coming from. Most of them are coming from stuff like this. You know what I mean? Most of this disease or whatever it is that is going on right now, most of them are coming from stuff like this. Bread is not supposed to be like this. I'm just so speechless, sad, and it just makes you want to be just grow your own food, buy your own food, make your own food. But even then, even the flour that you buy is also bleached down. Like, it's just, nothing is really food anymore. We are eating plastic, chemicals, a lot of chemicals, a lot of things that we are not supposed to digest and ingest. We are just ingesting and digesting stuff that is not meant for our digestion system. I don't really know what to say, but let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.